Have you ever wondered why some women, who may not have a stunning appearance or lead a seemingly perfect life on social media, can still captivate men that many consider out of reach? What makes them so alluring? What secrets do they possess that you might not yet have discovered? The answer isn't found in physical looks. It's not about makeup, tight outfits, or mastering seduction tricks in front of a mirror. It's something far more subtle and immensely powerful. Something Carl Jung grasped profoundly. True feminine power is rooted in the ability to forge an emotional bond, to connect with a man's soul before touching his body. When you embrace this concept, everything shifts. Many women grow up believing they must appear attractive on the outside to be loved, waiting to be desired, pursued, or conquered. But here's the deep truth. You don't need to rely on your physical form to earn his unwavering devotion. When you tap into a deeper layer within him, something that transcends the visible, he will willingly surrender to you without fully understanding why. Do you know where the core of male desire truly resides? It's not what you've always heard. It's in his mind. That's where his deepest wishes emerge, where his insecurities, dreams, intense experiences, and unvoiced longings reside. It's in this intricate inner space, sometimes chaotic and challenging to reach, that you can enter once you grasp his emotional language. Carl Jung frequently reminded us that we can only shift what we attract by altering the energy we project. This principle applies here as well. Let me share a truth that is often overlooked. A man can physically connect with many, but he emotionally opens up to those who dive deeper than the surface. That's why after a powerful encounter, he might remember less about what you did and more about what you ignited within him. That, dear woman, is genuine attraction. It's what lingers in his mind, even when you're not around. If you've ever felt like you're giving your all yet receiving little in return, or if you believe you're doing everything right but still lack his true devotion, you don't need to change how you look or become more accommodating. What you truly need is the ability to connect with his mind first, to venture into his inner world that few are brave enough to explore. But you can do this, so stay with me until the end, because in this presentation, you will discover how to ignite his deepest interest without any physical touch. I'll provide you with specific phrases, practical examples, and a unique tool you can use in your next encounter to become unforgettable. This isn't just abstract theory, it's applied psychology and relationships from a conscious, feminine perspective, inspired by the principles of emotional transformation that Carl Jung taught. Let's get started. There's a profound truth that many shy away from because it disrupts the patterns we learned in childhood. The male body isn't the ultimate source of connection. It's not the most sensitive area, nor the heart of deep intimacy. His genuine desires, the forces that drive and transform him, originate in his mind. Yes, within that rich inner world of thoughts, hopes, hidden fears, and unfulfilled dreams, true magic unfolds. When you grasp how his mind operates, everything falls into place. You'll find there's no need for comparisons or competition. Instead, you simply become the woman who occupies his thoughts. Even when you're not present, your actions can evoke emotions, ignite curiosity, and stir desire from a distance. And trust me, this type of connection leaves a lasting impression. There's a stark contrast between mere physical attraction and a truly unforgettable presence. Any woman can catch his eye for a fleeting moment, but only those who engage his imagination, touch his emotions, and fulfill his need for admiration can carve out a space in his heart. As Carl Jung wisely noted, what we give returns to us multiplied. When you exude presence, authenticity, and a serene, confident feminine energy, it comes back to you as real love. So, how do you tap into the male mind? It's about anticipation, not full disclosure. It's about subtle hints rather than total transparency. Just like women, men respond far more deeply to mystery than to the obvious. It's not about laying everything out. It's about creating an environment where his imagination can flourish, spaces that make him yearn for you in your absence. Play with the unsaid, embrace meaningful pauses, and use glances that convey more than words ever could. Entice him with your silent expressions, leaving him curious about what lies beneath your words. The key is to spark emotions within him, because a man doesn't fall for your actions, but for the feelings they evoke. You can be straightforward, playful, tender, or passionate, but if you don't reach his mind and stir an emotional response, you'll become just another fleeting memory. However, if you manage to make him feel understood, admired, challenged, and intrigued, you'll linger in his thoughts, even when he's amidst others. Now, do you see why I say the mind is the true starting point? That's where authentic desire ignites. That's where enduring interest flourishes. That's where the fantasies are born that draw him to you without you needing to pursue him. Connect with his mind, and his body will naturally follow. Once you truly understand the impact of these insights, you're ready to uncover something even deeper. Because when a connection begins in the unseen, the visible becomes a natural outcome. While many women seek answers on the surface, you'll venture into something far more intimate, his inner world. Recognizing this is essential. When you only scratch the surface, you'll get shallow, automatic, and ultimately tiresome responses. But stepping into his emotional realm with sensitivity, intelligence, and full attention transforms everything. There's an unexplainable, yet undeniable connection for men. A woman who reaches his soul before she ever touches his body. While others might be preoccupied with their external appearance, you can ignite his desire in more subtle ways. A single word at just the right moment, a fearless gaze, a thoughtful pause, or a quiet yet impactful remark can linger in his mind for hours. Astonishingly, this can be even more alluring than any physical touch. There's something irresistible for every man, a woman who captivates his mind before she engages his skin. You have the power to embody that woman by expressing your inner strength instead of seeking validation from insecurity, just as Carl Jung advised. When you heal your thoughts and emotions, your world shifts, including your relationships. You already know that the mind is the true epicenter of male desire, but knowing isn't enough. The key question is, how can you leverage this knowledge? This is where many stumble. Some think that dishing out compliments or uttering superficial comments like, "You look nice today," suffices. But that barely scratches the surface. What truly ignites him is a playful dance with his imagination, creating emotional tension and planting a thought that lingers in his mind. And that's exactly what you, dear woman, can achieve with 3 subtle yet incredibly powerful tools. When you master these with grace, you become unforgettable to him. The first approach to connect with his mind is to choose words that evoke vivid imagery. We're not talking about tired cliches or cheesy pickup lines, but rather expressions that can spark entire inner narratives without being overt. Instead of saying, "You fascinate me," try, "There's something about you that makes me think things I probably shouldn't. Can you sense the difference?" You offer him nothing explicit, yet convey everything. The magic lies in allowing him to fill in the blanks with his imagination. This is the art of not laying everything out plainly, but instead leaving space for curiosity, longing, and desire. Because when he starts to craft mental scenarios involving you, you transition from being just another woman to becoming his favorite story. The second method to engage his mind is through the thoughtful application of silence. It may seem straightforward, but it's an incredibly potent tool. Often, we feel compelled to fill every silence with chatter, as if quietness is uncomfortable. In reality, the opposite holds true. When employed wisely, silence cultivates mystery, tension, and desire. Picture this. You're conversing with him, leaning in a bit closer, sharing an unexpected or slightly provocative thought, and then you simply pause. You gaze at him, saying nothing further, offering no explanations or justifications. This moment is charged with tension as his mind starts to race. He wonders if you'll break the silence, take action, or simply savor the stillness. This pause hangs in the air, lingering in his thoughts. The void that you remain comfortable in becomes an echo in his mind. Carl Jung once noted that what remains unspoken carries its own weight. When you embrace the strength of silence, you come to understand that there's no need to persuade anyone. You simply need to resonate. The third way to engage his thoughts is to master the art of almost. What does that entail? It suggests that not everything that begins must reach a conclusion. There's an undeniable charm in what's left incomplete. Picture a moment when he leans in, anticipating a kiss. But instead, you whisper something softly in his ear and then pull back, flashing a teasing smile. It hasn't happened, but it's tantalizingly close. And that almost leaves a lasting impression. Why is this effective? Because he was hoping for an ending, but you've left him with ellipses, an open narrative that allows his imagination to roam free, envisioning how it might unfold. This can often resonate deeper than 1,000 tangible gestures, since he becomes entranced not by what has occurred, but by what he yearns for. When you depart, he's not filled with satisfaction. He's filled with desire. And therein lies the secret. It's not about immediate gratification, but about igniting an emotional hunger, embedding yourself in his thoughts, even as he attempts to distract himself. What truly endures isn't your physical presence. It's the narrative you've initiated in his mind. These three elements, the suggestive word, the provocative silence, and the allure of almost that heightens desire, are not conventional tactics. They are an emotional artistry, a conscious feminine expression. Very few women wield these tools with intent, as they demand presence, inner confidence, and emotional maturity. But if you find yourself here, it means you're prepared to stand out, to be unforgettable. It's not about having the perfect physique, or delivering the most romantic line, or executing the precise gesture. It's about penetrating his imagination without seeking approval, stirring emotions within him that are beyond his comprehension or control. Once you achieve that, competition fades away. You operate on an entirely different plane, where your energy conveys more than 1,000 spoken words. Carl Jung observed that true self-love naturally reflects in the world around you. In that state, you become magnetic, unique, and irresistible. The best part? All of this resides within you. It doesn't require force. You simply need to remember. A woman who refuses to settle for mere admiration seeks to be felt. A woman who doesn't crave validation radiates authenticity. And therein lies your genuine strength. When you learn to connect with a man on an emotional level, you unlock a transformative approach to relationships, freeing yourself from the need for strategies to please. You no longer need to disguise who you are. Embrace your true self and find that inner harmony. Why? Because while men may be attracted to many women, only one will linger in their thoughts. The one who resonates with their soul. It's not about mastering the art of emotional manipulation. Rather, it's about uplifting your energy, tuning into the unspoken, and building such a vibrant presence that you capture attention effortlessly. As Carl Jung advised, when you genuinely love yourself, you elevate your frequency enhancing the quality of love that comes your way. Consider this. Each conversation is a chance, every glance a pathway, and every pause conveys meaning. When you engage with him, listen not just to his words, but to the silence between them. What remains unspoken? What feelings does he keep hidden? What uncertainties lie beneath his confident exterior? Men crave understanding too, even if they don't express it. They yearn to be appreciated for who they truly are, beyond their accomplishments. When you can truly see his inner self, not to change him, but to accept him, he experiences a rare sensation, inner peace. And for an emotionally mature man, nothing is more alluring than a woman who brings tranquility while maintaining an air of mystery. But here's where it gets even more compelling. Don't just ignite his desire, awaken his respect. When a man respects you, he stops playing games, doesn't question your worth, and offers more than mere breadcrumbs. A respectful man wants you to feel secure, valued, and significant. To get to that point, you must first clarify who you are and how you wish to be treated. Everything begins with you, your energy, your boundaries, and your ability to assert yourself from a place of genuine self-love. See how all of this is interconnected? And here's another crucial insight. Don't shy away from leaving a lasting impression. Many women think they must be easygoing, avoid deep connections, and mask their interest to prevent scaring someone off. But true magnetism arises from being authentic and confidently showcasing your true self. You're not here to seek attention. You're here to make a difference. You aim to create unforgettable experiences, to be the woman who leaves an indelible mark. Why? Because you've dared to touch a part of him that few ever explore, his most vulnerable emotions. So, in your next moment with him, reflect on this. Am I seeking validation, or am I expressing my truth? Am I chasing a reaction, or am I leaving a genuine emotional impact? Am I acting from fear, or am I embracing my inner strength? The answers to these questions will shape whether you become a fleeting thought or a lasting presence. Never forget, what you attract is a direct reflection of what you believe you deserve. Therefore, nurturing your self-worth isn't a secondary concern. It's the cornerstone of everything. As Carl Gustav Jung said, self-love is the greatest gift you can offer yourself. From that foundation, everything transforms. Take a moment to celebrate who you are. Honor yourself. Embrace self-love. The more you cultivate these feelings, the more you'll draw in those who see your true essence, not just a surface reflection. When you turn your focus inward, seeking what you can create within instead of looking outward, your energy begins to transform. The beauty of this shift is that you don't need to announce it to the world. Your change will be felt. People can sense it. Men, in particular, may struggle to articulate it, but they'll notice something different about you. You radiate a new energy, a tranquil presence that captivates and unsettles those who are only familiar with your previous self. As you evolve into a woman who not only hears but truly understands, you'll start to pick up on subtle cues in conversations that once slipped past you. You'll feel how he reacts to certain subjects. Notice how his body language shifts when something emotional is brought up, and recognize the way he opens up when he feels safe with you. In those fleeting moments, you can see genuine desire emerge in an authentic way. No manipulation needed. Just connect with his humanity. True desire isn't born of control or trivial games. It blossoms from a heartfelt emotional bond. When a man knows he can be himself with you, unmasked and unpressured, something profound occurs within him. He relaxes, his defenses lower, and that's when he truly sees you and feels your presence. Such a connection is rare and unforgettable. What draws him in even more? A woman who is at ease in her own skin, not because she's flawless, but because she embraces her truth. A woman who articulates her thoughts without apology, sets boundaries with kindness, and knows when to advance and when to hold back. She doesn't need to seduce. She simply attracts. Remember the wisdom of Carl Jung. Our self-perception shapes our reality. If you view yourself as a powerful, free, desirable, and lovable woman, that's the energy you'll project into the world. There's nothing more alluring than healthy self-respect. This is where true seduction begins. With you, your inner dialogue, and the way you regard yourself in the mirror. When you look at yourself with admiration and recognition, you stop settling for anything less than you deserve. You'll no longer accept lukewarm attention or emotionally unavailable men. From this newfound energy, your choices will shift, fundamentally transforming your relationships. In his presence, you won't seek his validation. Instead, you'll engage with genuine curiosity. You'll listen with all your senses, absorbing every moment. You won't rush to fill silences or react impulsively. You'll take a breath, speaking only when you truly wish to share something meaningful, not to simply please. And if he pulls away for a moment, don't view it as a setback. See it as a signal. A woman who knows how to connect with the male spirit doesn't need to plead for a place in his life. She understands that her worth doesn't hinge on convincing others of her value. From their very first encounter, a man open to a profound connection will feel this energy. So, liberate yourself. Let go of the fear of inadequacy. Release the fixation on eliciting reactions. Abandon the need to control every situation. Your value isn't determined by how a man responds to you. It lies in your ability to remain authentic without sacrificing your true self for someone else. If there's one thing I want you to take away, it's this. You possess more power within than you might realize. Not the power to dominate, but the strength to foster genuine connections through your emotional honesty and inner peace. That, dear woman, is something no one else can replicate. Keep nurturing this version of yourself that communicates clearly, embraces its intensity, and leaves a lasting impact effortlessly. Above all, understand that seduction is not merely an external act. It's a way of life. As you transform into the woman who can genuinely touch the male spirit, you won't need to shout to be heard or chase to be sought after. Your mere presence speaks volumes. Your authenticity resonates, and it's this energy that turns fleeting encounters into memorable moments. And if you've made it this far, I simply want to say, thank you. Thank you for granting yourself this time. Thank you for being open to listening, reflecting, and embracing a new kind of connection. If anything I've shared today has resonated with you, inspired you, or prompted thought, then this moment has been worthwhile. Always remember, your value isn't gauged by how much you're desired, but by the respect you have for yourself. When you start to connect from your inner strength and authenticity, from that self-love championed by Carl Jung, you not only transform yourself, but also shift how the world responds to you. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of this presentation. If you found this message valuable, I'd greatly appreciate your positive feedback. It fuels my passion for creating. And if you haven't joined this channel yet, now is the ideal time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any upcoming content. Because what's coming next will resonate even more deeply with you.